Okay guys, so welcome to the live streaming sessions and let us get started. Okay, so what are we looking at the charts as of now? So based on the charts, prices if it initially dropped a little bit on Asian sessions, Asian time zone, and afterwards we started to see that prices has been able to rebound, and that really gives a little bit of a different picture happening here. So based on this market that we have been watching so far, is we've already been seeing that yes, prices initially drop pretty fast and really built up a very good consolidations. What I would say that there's a good possibility that prices are right now trying to hold itself pretty well around here, and the tendency is likely to continue to go back lower from what we have been seeing so far. And based on this alone, I believe there's a good chances for us to see that a good possibility that once prices slows down, tries to break 3,380 and prices fail, there's a good chances for us to finally see that gold prices could start dropping back lower. And one of the main reasons is we already see that the overall trend happening on the gold market is very clear, that prices is likely to move with the tendency of weakening. And that has been shown and proven over the opening markets, because if you guys are watching here at the opening market sessions, yes, prices initially dropped after the Federal Reserve came out with the decisions to hold the interest rates, and afterwards we have already been seeing prices has been dropping since then. And from that alone, we could actually see that good tendency for us to actually see prices right now get a lot of chances to drop, and I believe this is a good chance for us to actually try to time our positions to do a sell positions with a well-managed risk coming out from here. So the overall market sentiment after the Federal Reserve decisions is very clear that they are standing put, they are putting the stance of holding the interest rates, as they are seeing that good chances inflation still remain high and unemployment market still remains good. So they are sensing that this still is a good chance for them to stand pat and hold the interest rates. And afterwards we started to see, yes, initially the reaction is pretty well, prices tries to maintain at around 3,380, and right now we are building back another new ranging area. So what's the new ranging area? So right now the new ranging area is 3,380 and 3,350 area. And this is going to be a little bit of a tricky market, as once again prices ranges, it's going to be a tougher market to trade. And with this kind of market movement, what I would be expecting is I would love to see that prices would be slowing down around here, and then later on we could be getting the confirmations that prices should be heading down lower. And right now we are watching through the 1 hour time frame charts, and again, as we are back on the ranging market strategy, sell at resistance, buy at support, it is still valid. We just need confirmations. And right now, since we are watching through the 1 hour time frame charts, we couldn't get too much, so let us switch towards the 30-minute time frame charts. Let us see whether we could be getting the confirmations that we are wanting to get so far. Okay, so yes, prices right now is a little bit slowing down. Good chances that this is the resistance area that we have been waiting for. But for me personally, I would still be waiting, try out to see how the market will be moving, as the ranges is still pretty huge, and right now we are at the peak of the ranges. So there's a good chances that this is the chance where prices will be slowing down, and good chances we could actually start seeing that gold will be moving on a range, and this is the resistance area, and the good chance for us to re-enter trades. But for now, I think prices will try to break out higher than 3,380, and so far from what we have been seeing, prices, yes, the tendency is likely to drop and has been doing so for most of the time. And from there alone, I think we try to watch and see how the consolidation works, and once prices weakens a little bit, I think there's a good chance for us to enter short positions on the market. Okay, so that's the view on the long. For the next few hours in the market, we should be expecting that prices should be a bit weakened after touching 3380, and good chances for us to see that prices should be weakening lower, especially that today I am looking at the markets that US is having a holiday, so I think that should be slowing things down on the market. Most of the market liquidities are appearing from there, and we have the SNB cutting interest rates has already been finalized, and also with BOE that will be deciding soon whether they will be holding the interest rates or not. So we'll try to see out how that works. From now, I think chances that prices will be consolidating. We'll try to see how that works. I think there are good chances for us to see that prices will be weakening from here, guys. Alright, so we'll take a look and see how that goes, guys, for now. Okay, so right now we should be expecting to see that market will be slowing down a little bit, and good chances we could be getting our short on the market once prices starts to break down lower than 3,375. So we'll see how that goes. Personally, after that market drop, I'm seeing good chances that prices should be slowing back lower. And again, we are back on the ranging market between 3,350 to 3,380, and we shall see how that goes on the market right now. So this is a 15-minute time frame chart as of now, as we could be seeing that market will be trying to break out higher, and if it failed, we could immediately get the confirmations that we are waiting. So we'll be watching out and see how that goes. But personally, since last night, we've already been seeing that prices, yes, it has already been dropping, rebounding, dropping, rebounding, building up a very good downtrend. But we need to get confirmations before we can say for sure that yes, prices will start weakening. It's going to take time, and I'll try to analyze how things goes later on. So far, prices is still trying to break out higher than 3,380 and return towards the upper ranges of the ranging area, and we shall see how that goes. Yes, prices just now touch up pretty high at 3,379, and right now it's again slowing back for now. We shall see how that goes on. And definitely the trend for today, it has been weakening, and I'm still seeing that prices for today should be weakened as what I've been trying to get out of the market for tonight, guys. Alright. Okay, so far we haven't been getting a lot of reactions. Prices start trying to break higher. So far we'll be watching first, as there's chances that prices will try to break out first before slowing back lower. So we'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, let us try to take a look what's happening on the other side of the silver market. As we know that silver market has been declining quite much and also a little bit more dramatic compared with its gold counterpart. So I think we'll be also trying to take a look what's happening there. But before that, I will be discussing what I am seeing on the gold market movement on the long term, after we have been seeing that prices has already been dropping below the 3,380 ranging area since last night. So based on that alone, I think we have been able to see its prices hasn't been able to sustain its price above 3,400, 3,430, and that really shows that prices hasn't been able to move a lot and has been weakening quite much. And based on that, I think it's fair to say that a lot of chances we could be actually seeing that gold will be moving with a tendency of weaknesses on the next few hours, as we've already been seeing that prices hasn't been able to hold well. But on the long-term market movement, it could be possessing a really big issue, and that issue itself could happen if prices couldn't sustain itself pretty well on above 3,400, 3,430. There's a good chances that prices could be moving on a huge sideways between 3,200 and 3,400, and the tendency is likely to move on those ranges, and it will be a very tricky and a strange market to trade, as it has been a totally different market scenario over the past 1 to 2 years, where prices has already been continuing to go higher without any slowdown. And suddenly we started to see the market has been ranging, moving on a sideways, and that really gives 2 years, I believe. So 1 to 2 years or a few months, if you guys just started to trade, definitely you guys would be sensing that there's something changing out of the market, and that is certainly the case. And from that alone, I think should be a good, I would say a good remembrance, because with those kind of market movement, what people will be expecting is prices should be weakened and weaken much more. So yeah, I think there's good chances for us to see that prices will be moving on a weaker side for now. And on the long run, let us view from the daily charts, as I usually do, so that you guys can actually see clearly what I am seeing. So based on the daily charts, you guys can actually see that right now, with prices has been a bit slowing down, good chances for a rebound is likely to be a bit lower to happen, as prices keeps on continue weakening, and with not really much of a signs of any improvement that we have been seeing so far, the likelihood for prices to continue to go down is really high. Especially the breakout pattern has failed. I would say it has failed, so prices hits the high, and right now it has been slowing back lower again, and the possibility for 3,600 is still far away, as prices hasn't been able to break out higher than 3,430, stay above 3,400, and this kind of market scenario should be able to let us see gold market could be moving lower and ranging on the lower side for once again, guys. Alright, so that's my view on the gold market as of now. With this kind of market scenario, I will be expecting to see that yes, prices should be trying to go down lower and touch 3,300 first for now. As prices hasn't been able to go higher, the likelihood for now is this kind of market scenario. Prices will be ranging, moving weaker, and showing that prices has a tendency to go lower rather than to go higher. And definitely it will be a very strange market to trade, as if you guys have been watching over the past few years, that market has been going on that very smooth uptrend journey over the start of 2025, where prices just started at around 2,600. So if you guys can see here, and prices just goes on higher every single day without stopping and building up a consolidations once it stopped, and prices just keeps on rising. And right now watching this kind of scenario is certainly a little bit a different scenario than you guys would be expecting. Yes, that will be the case, and it's going to be a tougher market to trade in this kind of ranges, and definitely need to be a bit cautious on how the next market movement will be moving here on the long-term market movement on this gold chart. Okay, so if you guys are used to trade on the gold, I believe you guys should have been experiencing that on yourself, and expect that market movement will be a bit slower, momentum will be much less than previously you guys have been watching and you guys used to, and you guys need to readjust based on the current conditions. That market most of the time will be ranging, momentum will be likely appearing much less than you guys could be used to see, and be prepared for it. Alright, so if you guys are enjoying our analysis so far, welcome to give us your subscribe and follows, and if you guys are enjoying your time here, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes, and don't forget to share this video with your friends or anyone that you guys know who is interested to learn to trade, and you guys could have interactive discussions with me right here on these live streaming sessions. So make sure if you guys are here, say hi, and if you guys wanted to ask me any questions, you guys are welcome to ask me anything about the trading market. I will be happily answering any of your questions as best as I could, certainly, guys. Alright, so welcome to ask me any questions about the market. Hope I could help you on your problems on the market, and enjoy your time here as well with me. Alright, okay, so right now, as we have already been saying, prices has been rejecting the high. Possibility for prices to continue to go down low is really huge, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, and definitely if you guys wanted to get a much clearer guidance how you guys could trade, you guys are always welcome to click the link on my profile, chat me how you guys could get these premium signals. Alright, so you guys could get all of those without paying any money, so don't worry about it. So you guys are welcome to chat me through the link there. And if you guys have any questions about the market, welcome to chat me, guys. Alright, so let us right now take a look what's happening on the silver market. Alright, so silver market, here we go. Alright, so if you have already been seeing what's happening in the silver market, there's been a very clear directions that prices has been weakening. Yes, that's very true, it's very obvious, and true to say that with the prices weakening, we could actually say that right now the consolidations on the silver market hasn't been bearing results so far, and prices just keeps on weakening from there. And if we are watching through the longer time frame first, guys, because I believe that throughout the market, if we are watching through the bigger picture, that prices on the silver market has actually been continuing its uptrend for some times. Okay, so if we are watching through here, it's been very clear that the momentum has been showing that prices are likely to weaken after hitting the high at $37.30, and we haven't been able to see prices hitting $37.50, and right now we are back again trying to test the uptrend market, and right now we are trying to see whether the spot at $36.10 work pretty well. And if the prices works really well on those ranges, good chances we could actually see that prices could be going up higher later on in the future. But if prices start breaking down over $36, I'm afraid we could be seeing that prices will be testing the support another lower level at $35.20. That's the picture on the long run. But based on the last few hours that we have been watching, yes, silver prices have been dropping, building up a very good chances of a very similar pattern that we are seeing happening on the gold market as well. Prices weakening, right? So I'm seeing good chances that prices will continue to weaken with this kind of chart pattern, and this is a very good definitions of a lower high, lower low, as very similar with what we have been watching throughout the gold market as well. So I think it's pretty obvious what we are watching here, and let us see how that goes. Personally, seeing the same market reactions, I would say that good chances for us to see that the likelihood for the silver market to be going lower is really huge as well, after seeing the kind of conditions that we are watching as of now. So I think this is a good chance for us to say that there's a good possibility that prices could continue to drop towards $36.20 and try to retest the support at around $36.20 area for tonight again. So definitely over the past few hours, prices hasn't been able to go higher and has been weakening so far from what we are watching throughout here, and a good possibility that it should be spreading across the gold market as well. We'll be trying to test the support at 3,370 soon, so we'll see how that goes. And with this kind of market movement, I will be expecting that prices should be weakening too. Same thing as what we have been seeing happening on the silver market as well. So we'll try to see out how this goes. Personally, this is a good chance to do another short on this silver market movement, guys. Alright. So if you guys asking me, is this a good chance? Yes, I would say this is a good chance to do the short at the current prices that we are watching in terms of risk and reward. I think it's still pretty much worth the chance to do so. You guys could still get close to 2 risk and reward ratio by doing the shorts around here. So I think still a good chance, and you guys could consider to do that as prices keeps on continuing to go down, and this drop will be usually much faster compared to gold. So if you guys wanted to get a smoother drop, you guys could expect to try to look out at what's happening on the gold market. Usually it could be a bit later, but you guys could actually time your entry pretty well here compared with the movement on the silver market, which could be dropping really fast. Alright. But since the drop has already happened, and we have already been saying that this is a good chance for you guys to do the short, and if you guys have already been doing, I'm sure that at the very least on your pockets, you guys should have been getting another 2 cents on your pocket. So that usually means quite a huge sum if you guys are opening your positions per lot, and I'm expecting that prices could be hitting $36.20, trying to retest the area. And yes, prices just drops very fast, $36.20, and you guys should have been pocketing around 10 cents. That 10 cents movement is really huge, around 100 pips if I'm not wrong. And congrats if you guys have been following and watching us, and definitely if you guys have been making good profits and enjoying your time on the analysis here, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes, and don't forget to follow and subscribe and share this video with your friends so that you guys could have interactive discussions with me and could ask me any questions about the trading or take a look with me together, guys. Alright, to see out how that works. Yes, welcome PL, good evening, and let us see how this goes. Yes, right now gold price is still trying to hold itself pretty well around the support. Meanwhile, I think it's a little bit of a different picture on what we are watching through the silver market. Silver market has been dropping quite much, so we'll see whether that this is actually building up a good support for the silver market, or is it going to be the start of prices starting to test the support at $36.20 area. Me personally, I still see that there's good chances for prices to continue dropping. Let us see how that goes on. Alright, so if you guys are watching, I'm still very much in line with the view that prices has been building a very good possibility to build up a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right now it's building a lower high, so I'm still very much in line with that view if you guys have been watching, and hope you guys have been able to take some clues on how you guys could take your positions and do your trades on the market as well. Alright, so back on the silver market, if we started to see that prices should be trying to test low at $36.20, I will be certain to say that gold will be at the very least trying to test the support at 3,370 later on. But so far the market reactions has been a little bit slow, yes, but certainly if you guys have been making positions when I've already been recommending to you guys that you guys could consider to do the shorts, I'm sure you guys could have been getting some positions on your hand. Alright, so at the very same time, we are receiving news that the BOE has decided to hold its interest rate, so I think that's the last of the central bank movements for this week. And if you guys have been watching around, then most of the central banks didn't cut interest rates and just watching through, other than the SNB, where right now the interest rate is lying at 0%. So I think that's a totally different scenario compared to the rest of the markets, and we'll see how that goes. But one thing is for sure, that a lot of central banks is trying to see out how things will be working out next and try to assess the situations later on in the market. Okay, so right now we are starting to see possibility that gold will be testing 3,370 support area. We'll see how that goes. Good chances for that to happen now. If not, I think it's going to take some time before prices will be testing the support again, guys. Okay, so 3,370, let us see how this goes, guys. Alright, and PL, welcome. And for everyone, if you guys are here and you guys have any questions about the market or anything about trading, or if you guys are interested about something on your trading ideas or anything, you guys are welcome to chat me and ask me any questions. Welcome. And if you have any markets that you want to watch, we'll be watching it together too. Alright, okay, it seems that prices is trying to rebound from the support and hasn't been able to show a lot of other signs so far from what I could be seeing here. So prices will try to rebound. We'll see how this market continuation works, because as of now the tendency is likely to be dropping from longer time frames. If you guys are watching, especially after testing the resistance, likelihood we should be able to see that prices should be weakening. Alright, So let us see how that goes on the live streaming sessions as we progressed. And so far the idea still remains very much intact that prices should be weakening for tonight, guys. Alright. Okay, so let us try to move on, try to see what is happening on the other side of the gold and the silver market, which has the US dollar index trading on behind of the market there. So we'll try to see what's happening on the US dollar index, and usually I'll be showing you guys what's happened on the currency strength charts first, because through the currency strength charts itself, you guys can actually see what's happening on the US dollar index as well as on the other currency market too. So just to show you guys what is happening, let me move on towards the currency strength charts for now. And you guys could actually see that there's been a very clear trend for tonight, that we have been seeing that prices has been trying to build up higher for the gold market, and I think that's also one of the reasons prices has been a little bit weakened too. That's one. And especially after the BOE has been out with the decisions on holding its interest rate, pound sterling has been weakening. I would say it's a little bit of a surprise, which usually where we are seeing that holding interest rates should be allowing for the currency itself to be a bit weakened. Yeah, so it's not a little bit strange. So it's very much in line. Holding interest rates should be weakening the currency, and there's certainly the momentum there to do some shorts again. So if you guys are watching throughout the charts on the GBP USD, we should be able to see that prices started to weaken on the short-term basis. It's a very quick trade, a short-term trade, and it seems that the momentum is also dissipating. And if you guys are watching closely through like 5-minute charts, I believe that you guys should be able to see the momentum appearing against the US dollar index, where today it has been, you guys could see that tonight the weakest pair is coming out from the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So usually we'll be seeing that these two currency will be actually on the opposite of the overall currency market movement. When it's usually going very strong, other currency will be weakened, and the opposites also happen. And this is also the case that right now we are watching, and I believe that short-term momentum on the GBP USD should be over soon. So be careful if you guys have already been doing the trade short. Make sure you guys could secure positions if you guys are just trading for the news and for the events, I mean. And with this kind of market movement, what I will be expecting is trying to see out whether after the rebound prices should be continue weakening or not. And I think that could be much more sustainable to really see that kind of market movement. And so far from what I'm getting here, I'm sensing that prices should be ranging again, as we have been seeing that since Wednesday prices has been moving in this 1.338 towards 1.33344 area, and I'm expecting that prices will be just ranging around those ranges for now. Okay, but other than that, I think we can actually try to do some shorts on AUD USD, NZD USD, as the momentum on the US dollar still remains, and that should be able to give a little bit of a pressure on the gold market again. So I think on the currency market, by looking at the currency strength charts, we should be able to see the momentum appearing on AUD USD and NZD USD to do some shorts, guys. Alright, and right now AUD USD just start to break down lower, and you guys could actually consider this, break the support, and right now it has already been breaking down lower. Try to consider to do that, do shorts, stop losses above here, 1v1, and try to target 0.644. So from right now 646 and targeting 644, I think that should be a pretty good chance to do the short. Keep in mind for that one, since the momentum is still ongoing and continuing, I'll be considering that as well. So just a short note for you guys. Alright. Okay, so the gold market eventually dropped 3371 and then rebounding back. So 3370 area has been tested on the support. And just a short notifications, if you guys are already in the premium signal groups, I am sure that you guys could be taking some good profits there first for now. If you guys are trading on a very short term basis, there you go. Towards the silver market, we should be able to see that the prices started to rebound. So that's why we also started to see the rebound. So if you guys are trading on a short term basis, you guys could try to consider to take half of positions at the very least, or take most of it and try to see out other opportunities. But for me, and if I'm still holding full, I will be adjusting my stop loss positions towards lower prices. Alright, so at the very least I'll be breaking this. If not, that means that market movement has its own ideas for tonight, and we could be hitting the break evens at the very worst case scenario. Alright, so there you go. I think with what we have been seeing happening on the silver, we should be expecting that prices should be rebounding for now. And if you guys are still holding the short positions, I would suggest that you guys could take out your positions and secure your very slight profit for now. Alright, so let us move on towards the US dollar index for tonight and try to see out what's going on here. So based on the US dollar index that we have been watching so far, especially after the decisions been made by the Federal Reserve, we have already been seeing that yes, prices will be stronger on the US dollar index as expected. I even draw out for you that the possible touching resistance area will be at around $99 at its peak, and surprisingly it has been very much in line with that view. It has been touching right at the outside zone of the resistance area, $98.70, and prices has remained a bit weaker from there onwards. So that really is in line, as a lot of people are already expecting that the gold, at the Federal Reserve will be holding the interest rates, as most of the analysts has been expecting to find out that kind of decisions for last night, I believe, around midnight on my side, and prices has been going up pretty strong from $97.90 and touching the high at around $98.70, and I think that should be a pretty good test to build up what I would say a very healthy market movement for a trend towards, and especially on the downtrend that is very much in line. We are seeing a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we are right now could be probably looking at the forming of the lower high, and will be continuing going down, building another lower low in the future. So we shall see how that goes. Personally, the view still remains the same. Maybe we could be seeing that prices could try to rebound, could try to break out, but it's usually going to be with the tendency of a false breakout with this kind of market movement, guys. Alright, and based on this daily chart alone, after the decisions, we should be seeing that US dollar index should be slowing down at the very least, and maybe moving on a sideways on the worst case scenario, or maybe trying to giving us a false breakout, trying to break out $99.30, but prices will eventually drop back lower on the worst case scenario. And if everything goes very much in line, we should be able to see that the US dollar index will be immediately going down lower and continue the trend that we have already been watching over the past 1 month plus, since the 9th of May, 12th of May, and we could be seeing that happening as well, right? And that's the view on the daily chart. But what about 1 hour time frame charts to see what's happening on the short term? Alright, so let us switch towards the 1 hour time frame charts and see. Alright, so far we have been seeing, yes, that the US dollar index is trying to break out higher, but has failed, and I think that's why we are starting to see that the gold market and silver market started to test the rebound, as we started to see that the US dollar index also hits the high at around $98.60, and I believe that's also part of the reasons why we started to see that the movement has started to slow down. But if prices starts to break out first and build up a resistance area and creating that false breakout, we should be able to see gold market will be a bit under pressure. Alright, so my view for now, with the US dollar index still trying to weaken, I will be a little bit cautious on the gold market trades as prices will be moving with the tendency of trying to be rebounding, especially with the weaknesses appearing over the past 10 to 15 minutes. But so far we are still seeing the gold market has its own trend, and I believe that the correlation in one way or another, yes, it will be impacting the market, but eventually it will be returning towards a lot of factors, and including the market participants on the gold market itself. And so far, yes, we have been seeing that it has been very much in line with the few building out that lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and right now it seems that prices is still heading lower. So that's why if you guys are asking me earlier on what's my view, I am still pretty optimistic to see that prices should be weakening here on the gold market. Alright, and at the very least, if you guys are trading short term, take half your positions and keep half, or if you are trying to be much more aggressive, shift your stop loss positions toward break even, and you guys could try to be much more aggressive. On the worst case scenario, you will be just breaking even. Alright, so I think that's how I'll be suggesting that you guys could go for it. Alright, so overall it's still very much in line, so I'm expecting that market will be a bit slow sessions. You guys will actually see that gold will be a little bit slower around these hours, and later on maybe entering our VIP live sessions, it's usually going to be much faster, but it's a bit different if there's a big event, and after the big event or entering the US market trading sessions, it's usually going to be much more movement happening around those hours. So at this kind of hours, we can be analyzing. Maybe you could be getting some good positions at some point of time. Not every time that it will be certainly the case, and we shall see how that goes. But you guys could actually see that after hitting the high, testing the resistance, prices has already been weakening, slowing down. Maybe we could be seeing that a possible market movement is prices will be ranging first, but later on it will be moving lower eventually. So everything takes time, everything takes a process, and that's part of the trading market. Patience, waiting, and not to be over eager or overwhelmed by this kind of market situation. And I believe silver market will be a little bit tougher for now, as prices has been touching $36.20, already been rebounding, and without even having the chance to test the support at $36.16. So I think I'll be trying to be a bit more cautious here, as the room for downside for gold is much significant compared to the silver market. So I think I'll be much focusing on gold, because in terms of risk and reward, it's much more rewarding here itself, guys. Alright, yes, you guys can also see the room, the volatility, and the space for the movement on gold is pretty huge. Alright, so pay attention for that. Okay, so prices, yes, keeps on going lower. Okay, so prices right now keeps on dropping as expected. We'll see how this goes. Very much in line with the view. Potentially prices will be testing to hit 3,370 first before trying to break down lower 3,367 area. As there's a lot of support around here, we shall see how that goes for now. As prices is a little bit slower as we expected, and US dollar index still starts to decline, so I'm expecting that the trade that we have been saying should be starting to rebound. We shall see, as currency market movement usually will be moving with the tendency of sideways, and I'll always be careful about that too. So maybe for now, momentum dissipates. Be careful, guys, and I don't really see any much of a momentum as of now. Oops. Yep, not really much of a momentum. So we shall see how that goes. Yep, not really much for now. I think we'll stick with the gold market as far as we can concern. Alright, so US dollar index starts to weaken a little bit, and gold right now started to rebound. So maybe I think it's a good time to take your profits if you guys aren't used to holding long for a longer period of time, as this will be a testing market for now. Okay, prices will rebound. We shall see. I believe we should be able to, and rather than trying to break out as even but a certain range, as people have expectations on the market too, and okay, because anything still could happen outside of the news events. I mean, outside of the events on the economic data, I'm expecting that something could be happening outside there, and we could actually start to see some movement could be appearing on the market. But other than that, it's going to be a bit slower. Alright, so for now, let us just try to take a closer look, as most of the chances out there on the market hasn't really appeared yet around these hours, and we have already been discussing most of the trading assets for tonight. And yes, prices still remain weakened despite rebounding, so I will always keep my options open on both gold and silver, especially if weaknesses starts to appear much more aggressively. That is the chance to be getting the confirmations that we have been waiting for so long. Okay. And if you guys are interested to get trading ideas like the ones you guys are seeing here, you guys are always welcome to click the link on my profile, chat me, and you guys could get access on this premium recommendations and ideas. Alright, so check it out. And if you guys wanted to get what's happening around the world on the VIP live sessions tonight, click the link on my profile. Alright, so if you guys are enjoying, Don't forget to follow and subscribe, as I always share the biggest insights and about the technical analysis earlier on my live streaming session. So make sure you guys do follow and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out. And welcome to share support by giving us your likes and thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. And you share this video with your friends or anyone that you guys know that is interested to learn to trade. And if you guys do have any requests about other markets that we haven't been touching on, you guys are always welcome to chat me and let me know what we could be looking together on the live streaming sessions and have discussions together as well. Alright, whether you guys are interested on some indicators, on technical analysis, chart patterns, or candlesticks, you guys are always welcome to chat me and ask me about it. I'll be happy to discuss it with you guys. Alright, for now, I think we shall focus, try to see how the involvement and the updates that could be happening from this gold chart movement. nothing much for now again. Okay, prices starts to slow down again. I believe we should be able to start seeing several markets dropping to get the confirmations more, but so far nothing much as of now. Meanwhile, all market should be a little bit slowing down as well as expected. Prices are still ranging as what we are seeing, so we'll try to see out how that goes. Okay, as I've said, best chances today is still appearing on the gold market itself, guys. Alright, so we'll see from there. Okay, prices starts to drop, as you guys could actually see that. Okay, so as we have already been saying, we'll be trying to see gold prices break down 3,370, and we'll see how prices will be touching 3,367 later on. And I think it hasn't changed much yet. For silver, hasn't been able to show a lot of movement. So oil itself still the same, it hasn't been able to break out higher, so we are still on a waiting mode, guys. Alright, but the tendency is still the same. We've already been showing you guys the analysis earlier on, so if you guys don't want to miss that out, follow and subscribe so you will be notified whenever we start. And during the start, I'll be sharing those insights, because sometimes quick movements could be coming up pretty fast, and I hope that you guys don't miss that out as well. But again, prices has been a bit slow as expected. We'll try to see if prices starts breaking down over 3370, that really changed the whole view. If not, we should be seeing that prices will be a bit slow down like the ones that we have been seeing here. Okay, so we shall see how this goes on. Personally, I've been seeing that prices has been a bit slower, and I think this will be the pace that we could be seeing throughout the night. Especially we will be having the US having a holiday. Liquidity will be a little bit slower as well. It's always been the case, and we shall try to see out how this goes on. 3,370 for the support, and see how that goes on the remaining time. And we have still some times, and I believe that other than the gold, potentially all market could be moving. We shall see. So things have still been a little bit slower. We shall see. Okay, so we are back and let's see. So prices hasn't been able to move much, and alright, so since we are almost entering the final minutes of our live streaming sessions, later on I'll be recapping and we'll see how that goes out. And for now, gold prices still remains under selling pressure. Yes, that's very true. We are not really seeing a lot of market reactions, as one of the main things, as I've told you guys, most of the events, economic events, has already been out. That's one. Two, we are having the US holiday. We should be able to see slower market movements for tonight. Maybe later on we could be seeing faster market movements. That could be the case, maybe couldn't be, but always be prepared for any situation that could be arising. Third, I think that should summarize all of it, yes. But with this kind of market movement, slower, as I've been telling you guys since just now, that we could be seeing market movement will be a bit slower. And I think primarily based on those two. First, economic events is almost over for on the US side, and today the US is having a holiday. And we can see faster movement. Yes, that could be the case, but it could take a little bit longer, guys. Right? So we shall see how prices break down 3370 and 3367 later on. And I believe we should be able to see the same thing. Silver market hasn't been moving a lot. Still the same thing around these ranges and nothing much. And oil, we shall see once prices breaks out. And yes, prices has been breaking out. So I think this is our cue. Let us retry another positions again. Pre-breakout. Don't miss out the chances again. Do a buy positions. But for now, I think I'll be trying to stay put first. Try to see out how this plays, whether the breakout is sustainable, and if it's good, then we can try to consider to enter the trades. If not, we'll try to see from the sidelines, because something is definitely cooking here. Something is interesting. Okay, so pre-breakout, I think, post-breakout, I think this is a good sign. We shall see how the continuation works. If prices continues to go higher, I think that should be a very, very positive sign. But if not, I think I'm a little bit cautious, guys. Right? Okay, so right now, all market is very much interesting. The lower your entry point, the better, guys. And if there's consolidations happening, it should be much later. If from what I could be seeing here right now. Okay, we should try to see this out and see how this goes. If everything goes well, I think good chances prices could immediately goes higher very fast, guys. Alright. Okay, so let us see. Prices hasn't been building up very well, slows down a little bit. I think we shall try to see out how the next candlestick works. And right now we are already watching through the 15-minute time frame charts. And if everything goes well, I'm expecting to see gold price. I mean, the oil prices could continue to go higher from here. There's always a good chance for that to happen. We shall see that. And let me switch towards 5-minute charts to see how the build-up is working. It's a little bit slow, yes. We shall see, because right now it's a bit slow. As you guys could see, prices already starts to reconsolidate at the higher price and try to get a little bit of another building up another higher low. We shall see how that goes. But ultimately, I think since our time is almost up, we try to check out what's happening on the other pairs, and I'll be getting back towards here later on. Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of a recap what we are getting out of this market so far. As we have already been seeing, yes, gold prices has been reacting really well, and we are seeing good chances that prices could continue to sustain going lower as we have been watching so far, and the ultimate test will be at around 3,370. Afterwards we can see that prices will be testing 3,367 as there's a lot of price ranges happening around the current price that we are watching. We shall see how that goes. Good chances for that to happen, yes, but it's going to take some time for it to be happening on the market, right? And next, I think silver market movement hasn't been able to offer us a lot of things. Yes, prices has been ranging with the tendency of weaknesses, but the continuations of the weakness is not appearing. We shall see how that goes. Meanwhile, the currency market movement, I'm not really seeing any clear chances. Earlier on, like I said, GBP is weakening, but I think it's rebounding already. And I think the same thing is also appearing on the Australian dollar US dollar, where prices could be weakening, but so far with not a lot of great actions. We shall see how that goes, and ultimately I think currency market tonight doesn't really offer us a lot of movement. And finally, on the all market trade, once prices breaks out, I think that could be a very beautiful thing on the market for tonight. And ultimately prices breaks out $76.20 could be the big momentum that we have been waiting, and if that happens we should be able to see oil prices hitting $77 soon. Alright, so don't be missing out on these chances, as I've been telling you guys. Good chances to add positions already, and hope you guys could make the shot on this market trades. Alright, so if you guys are interested to get this kind of trading ideas from me, you guys are always welcome to click the link on my profile or the video descriptions and chat me. I want to get this without paying a fee. I will be sharing you guys how you guys could get this with a very clear instructions to enter your positions, your stop losses, your target price, depending on how aggressive you are. And for more information, what happened on the all market and what happened on the very reserve decisions, I'll be sharing on the VIP live sessions. And the only way you guys could get that, click the link on my profile, video descriptions, chat me, access on VIP Live. I'll be sharing you guys at that too. Alright, so see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last week, tomorrow is the last day of the week, so don't forget to check us out. If not, I'll be showing you guys on the VIP Live tonight. Bye.